The most exciting one is actually having a time with the friendly crocodiles that in real life, children shouldn't go to play with them. When they see them, they should run. Because something happened to the crocodiles and now they bite. They bite.
My name is Gotname Bitrus-Ibrahim. I'm a mother. I'm a minister of God, to be precise. I'm a missionary, and I'm a poet. You can say I'm an author since I've written books. Yep.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So, we would like to know what made you want to become a writer?
What made me want to become a writer? I started writing very early. I think the earliest I can remember was in my JSS2. But I grew up with people who were passionate about writing in my family, especially poetry. My dad and his siblings, a few of his siblings. So books were important in the family. And I think I just fell in love with expressing myself because it wasn't something that came naturally for me to express myself the way I would want to. So writing helped me do that.
That's wonderful. But from what you said, I'd like to ask a question. How did you learn how to write so well?
I think it's a process. I've never considered myself as an excellent writer per se, because I'm someone who believes that life is a school, and being creative means making adjustments. Those adjustments comes with improvement, and where there is a need for improvement, then one will learn. But I hear people say, you know how to write. I think it is because I love it. I'm very passionate about it. So it differentiates me from people who don't take it seriously.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, ma'am. So, you said you grew up seeing your dad and his siblings writing, which is quite interesting. And from what you said, it indicates that they are your first authors. They are the first authors and models you've seen and learned from while growing up. Are there other authors outside your family that you look up to? Authors that are your favorites?
Yes, definitely. The first that I came to love so much was Shakespeare,
Wow.
and I'm still a fan of the work of Shakespeare. Shakespeare. And then of course the King James version
Wow.
of the Bible. So I learned to write from seeing how David wrote a lot of the chapters of the Psalms, and then of course Songs of Solomon, Ecclesiastics, then inspirational books. I love Joyce Meyer.
Wow.
That's Christian inspirational authors. Max Lucado. If I list all the authors that I just love to read, when I see a good, healthy read that is not immoral, I would love to like learn and read. And what's this book about? And you might say, okay, what about the creatives that are not Christian? Yes, I love the writings of Chiamanda. I've not been a fan of Wole Soyinka, but of course, my respect. So Chiamanda, I had lecturers that are very good writers and authors that I was opportune to come across during my time in the university. Lecturers that have written books that they've earned my respect, and they have helped me in one way or the other. So the list go on. Did I mention Chinua Achebe?
No.
Okay, of course, Chinua Achebe. So on and so forth.
Mm. Wow, that's quite a lot of people. And my next question is, when writing, how do you get your ideas? What's the process of writing for you? Is it that you have to sit down, think about it, or it just comes based on inspiration, or anything inspires you to write? How is your process of writing? What gives you ideas?
Um, well, I feel I'm an inspired writer. I love to be inspired before I write. But having been a freelancer, I have also come to enjoy, taking a moment, thinking about a topic, following the rules of writing to write about a topic, even when you're not inspired about it.
Mm.
I love to write love stuff. They are the easiest, happy moments. The hardest is to write the brokenness in our world and in other people. So if you say process, I think about a topic, I meditate on it, and then I pour out my heart on a paper, and then later on I can edit and make and put all the rules if that is what I wish to do. Or if I just want something prosaic or something like a freestyle, then I just let it be.
Wow. The next question is this. In your journey of writing, what is your favorite part of being a writer?
Hmm. The favorite part of being a writer is having to inspire others, to listen to others, to learn why people do the things that they do, why they smile, why they choose to dance, why they hate the things that they hate. But that's like early on as a young person, but as you go, your life becomes more serious, and then your writing too becomes more intentional and serious because it's about changing people's mentality and influencing people to be the best version of themselves. As a writer, when you consider the fact that sometimes um it gets a little bit hard when you've written so many books and the financial implication of it isn't there, or the fame, as people would say, then even if you don't have questions like what's happening, is it that I'm not that good? Um, a time will come when you begin to ask what's really happening. As a young person, those things I mentioned earlier on would have been the most favorite thing. But as you grow older, you would want to change the mentality, negative mentality of people, wrong extremist things that have caused our country to decay and bring so much corruption and pain. But of course, sometimes you feel overwhelmed. Sometimes you feel not heard enough. Is this really worth it? And of course, I've been in that place where I felt, you know what, let me stop writing. But I also remember that writing has saved me countless times. And what do I mean by that? It has given me a voice to air the pain in my heart and to also speak on behalf of other people, to do advocacy and the rest. I remember a particular time when I actually stopped writing for a long time. I was silent, and someone contacted me that I have never met, and I've never met her up to date. And she said she saw one of my poems on Facebook and it changed her life. But she hasn't been seeing me write for a long time. And I said, okay, why is that? Who are you? And but she was so emotional that she just wanted that she always look up to those moments when I'll release, especially the poems. And because there was a time she had suicidal thoughts and she read something I wrote about suicide and rape and abuse, and it actually stopped her from taking her own life. Um, it made me really cry, and I knew that writing is not really about myself. So this question, I would have just said, my favorite part is when people get to read it. No, I don't want them to just read it. I want them healed. I want them to feel loved. I want to correct. I want to influence. So, what I'm able to do with my writing, that's what I enjoy the most.
How many books have you written so far?
So I've written 4 personal books, and I've collaborated to write one with some of my lecturers then in school. So making it 4, making it 5. Yeah. And I have a blog where I write a lot of things, a bunch of things.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, ma.
My first book is actually a collection of poems, and it's that's really my first baby, and it's so full of innocence and my early poems. The second book is a novel. People don't really know that it's a storybook because they know me more as a poet than yes. So it's a novel, and it's actually very interesting. At least I've been told. Then another collection of poems where I directed my focus on topics that have to do with trauma, with the African child having a dream, the audacity to dream big. I want to become something despite the things that try to limit us, especially in northern Nigeria. I talked about the girl child, and so many important issues in Nigeria. Then, of course, my most recent is the children's book. So I love being adventurous, and as I told you, I love to learn. So writing books is an opportunity for me to learn. So I choose different genres, and I push myself to write. So it pushes me to ask questions and to learn along the way. So I'm so excited about the children's book, most importantly.
We'll be talking about the children's book.
Okay.
We would love to know what inspired the book Emakami and Ikasis Adventures.
So I love children as far back as I've known. I know jokes were made by my friends that hope children will not put you in trouble. I love their laughters. I love to hear their questions that people call silly, but I take them very seriously. So I've always felt that the hardest thing for me to do is actually tell children stories. I feel that the easiest thing for one to do is to write adult stuff. But how could I ever be able to write stories for my favorite people? Something that will excite them, at the same time inspire them. And then another issue I kept seeing in children's book was the use of a lot of magic. And I came to see that I, for one, don't so much believe in such things. So, as a Christian, I don't really believe in magic. So, I felt that one day, if I write a children's book, if I decide to go into children writing, focused writing, I wanted to write a children's book that introduces children to something called the supernatural. There is a God who is almighty, and he doesn't do magic. The issue with magic is that it has no consequences and it has no source, because it will be hard to show children that magic comes from evil. But then when we talk about a creator that is all supernatural, that has created everything that exists, something pure for children to behold and to see, because the supernatural permits them to be just like him. And so you would see that in that book, the children in this book, rather, in this book, that children are introduced to the aspect of the supernatural, that they could also have the ability to heal the sick, to show love to others, to be kind, because those are the natures of God who has created them. So I wanted to write, that's my idea of something clean. So of course there's the adventure aspect, and then there is the talk about my hometown. Well, I wanted to also share with the world where I came from, a little about where I came from. I didn't write one third of the information about what I came from, but I wanted to talk about the mountains, the valleys there, the beautiful nature, and of course the mysterious crocodiles. Because in real life, they are actually mysterious. They have caretakers. So there's a place called Girmache Zoo, and there are caretakers there. And then you wonder why these crocodiles haven't finished the whole people in Zululand, because it's not really a large city. But then they are there, very, very mighty and big. So I just felt that children would like to know that. And I went further to introduce children to the fact that our world wasn't always like that. Something made the crocodiles to be violent. Something makes people that are good violent. So much to pack from this place. So much.
Are the characters in the story real or imaginary?
Okay.
And which of the two characters is most like you in real life?
You want to put me in trouble? So it's fictional. The storyline is fictional, but then the characters are true. Almost all of them are people have met somewhere. So Emakame, it's my daughter. Ikasi is my son. Emakame means, it's the full version of that name is Sila Emakame. It means God has done it for me. And then the full name, the full version of the name Ikasi is Sila Ikasi. It means God is good. I wanted my mom to be part of that book because I've always wished, she was someone who loved children. I've always wished that she had the opportunity to be part of her grandchildren's life. And I was looking for a way to keep something special for them, that when they grow up, they could have a part, something beautiful about their grandmother. So there are some things like her attributes that I mentioned in the book that are truly true, like the missing tooth, and when she smiles, she would want to hide it, but and then of course my dad is part of it. And then there's another character that is not fictional, and that is Charles, who is called Faithful. So Faithful is their guide, and practically there's a person in our lives called Pastor Charles, who plays an important role in all our lives, not just my children's life. He loves children too. Yeah, he has always shown so much love towards us, both in ministry, and we have also seen him love children in Nigeria, and especially northern Nigeria. The special thing about Faithful, the character Faithful, is that it is so weird for a Yoruba man to love northerners the way he does. And wherever you give him a pulpit or a stage, he advocates for them from the perspective of who God has created them to be. So I felt he should be the one that guides the children from the north to have adventurous outings, while he reminds them of the supernatural power that God has bestowed in each and every one of them at birth
Wow.
as they see him do it. Yeah. So, of course, there's Murna. Murna is actually Zoe. When Zoe came to our lives, she was Maimuna. And so we gave her the name Zoe. Zoe said she wants to be a nurse. So, Muna in that place is actually Zoe. And then,
Say good.
oh, okay. How? Oh my God.
Name.
How did I forget the pets? Why a goat, right? Why a goat? Why not a goat? And let me not say anything about the goat. The funny thing about the goat is that it's so stubborn. So, but as I have said, the animals are not supposed to be what they are now. Something happened and they became what they are now. So even the goat wasn't supposed to be used for negative things in that manner. But then sin brought about what it is today. But then in that book, we get to meet a very mischievous goat, yet part of something supernatural and very meaningful with the kids.
What
Praise
is the
God.
most exciting adventure that Emakami and Ikasi go on in this book?
So I think the most exciting one is actually having a time with the friendly crocodiles that in real life, children shouldn't go to play with them. When they see them, they should run. Because something happened to the crocodiles and now they bite. They bite. So, but in this book, they don't bite. They don't. So, I think that's the most exciting. But I love all the adventures, especially the ones that they went to feed the out of school children. The early mornings, breakfast with the street children that come into their grandparents' house. So they're all fine. But of course, the one that carried the title of the book, Meeting the Mysterious Crocodiles. Yeah.
So, how long did it take you to put this beautiful piece together?
Hi, buddy. As little, I think this is the littlest of all the books I've written, but it has taken me more time because, as I have said, I was so nervous about writing a book for children. Children are so important that every word has to be weighed because you are getting them very young, and I wouldn't want to tell them something that would destroy them. So I was really nervous. I had to pray about it. I had to give it out to people that I trusted to go through it, children to go through it and get feedback. So it was really very slow. The story didn't start the way it ended. So through prayers and meditation, God helped me. But it took more than 3 years.
Wow.
It took more than 3 years. You do the first draft, sometimes you delete 2 chapters, you start again, it took more than 3 years. So.
Wow. That's beautiful. So, we would like to know what your message is to the young children out there that will, while reading the book, what are they to learn from it? The message you have for every young child out there that is going to take part in this journey with Emeka and Ikasi.
My bestest of all friends, children that are the same age with Emakame and Ikasi, because the book is meant for children from the age of 5 to 15. So even the teenagers can read the book. Just know that I love you so much and I believe in you. And you would see in that book that I didn't put any limit because I believe you are very intelligent to understand every word I have written in it. If you found any word that is strange, it's an opportunity for you to build on your vocabulary. So that is me telling you, like my dad did to me, that children don't need words to be watered down as if uh, they don't have an understanding or an intellect. Um, Children can start with big words, like the writings of Shakespeare, like reading King James Version that is so difficult, all the English versions, like literary works of Chiamanda. Find out about Chiamanda and a lot of other Nigerian authors. Look out for their books. Ask your parents that you would want to read stories like that. Stories like that. Stories written by authors who who have shaped our history, who have shaped the course of the politics of our country and everything. Children have the capability to learn big stuff because they can start small because they are babies. So I believe in you. I believe in you. From the first page to the last, you can see that I don't think you are little. Mm-mm. I think you are capable of so, so much more now. Now. But most importantly, how to say thank you to me is actually, you know what? Reach out to out of school children. Disturb your parents very well. Let them take the children that are not going to school in your neighborhood back to school.
I would like to know what you like to say to upcoming writers, especially in Nigeria. What do you have to say to that writer out there?
To writers, young writers, you can't write without reading books. You can't write without buying books and reading books. And stop borrowing books and tearing books for people. You have to discipline yourself if you want to be read. What I mean by that is that if one day you would want to write books that other people will buy and to read, then that means you have to discipline yourself by buying books and keeping books healthy, by not tearing them and just maltreating books. You need to read other authors and don't limit yourself to just a specific kind of writers. Be versatile. Read historical books, biographies of important people, letters written by different people, speeches. Be curious. Then that will help you in writing. And then one other thing is that it's not enough to write for the money you would get. I think writing goes beyond that. Think about writing more about all the things I've discussed here, and most importantly, that you are leaving a legacy of change. You are influencing the next generation of children, your age mates, and systems. Most importantly, systems. Talk about banditry, not don't take any side, only the side of the victims. Don't take any side, but the side of the victim. The issue with this world is that if we have one person who is hurt among us and so many healthy people, then we are all hurt. So if you must take a side, then be on the side of the vulnerable, be on the side of the marginalized. I've been very careful not to talk about feminism, and I will not say it at the end, although the word has come. But I don't think feminism is as important as you being who God has called you to be. And that is being exactly the way He is. His nature is love. So please, I'm begging in the name of God, stop writing about things that are not important. Stop writing about things that don't bring healing to people. Stop writing about things that don't bring change to the politics in our world today, starting in Nigeria. Don't be too quick to defend things that don't make sense, even if they are from your tribe. When it doesn't make sense, if it's bringing pain to other people and hindering them from having what is rightfully theirs, then write against such things. Don't be known for wickedness. Don't be known for lust of power. Be known for love, because at the end, that's the thing that conquers all, actually. On a final note, this book are for your children, for my children, and for all our children. So, I'll be excited to hear from you, reviews, bad, good, in between. I'll be so excited because it will help me write the next adventure. I've started working on the first chapter, but I wouldn't say the title yet. They are already off to the next adventure. But while we're writing that, we need to sell the 1,000 copies that we printed of this particular book. And guess what? Some people have decided, you know what, give us some copies and we'll sell. I'm ready to share some percentage of the money with you. Buy my book. Thank you. So, thank you so much till I hear from you, and God bless you.